So it's probably Fannie Mae. I mean, I'd be surprised if Fannie Mae wasn't the investor on these loans. And, of course, Bank of America is servicing these loans. Now, that is just a guess, but I bet you we're right. So normally, guys, as you know, in a short sale, even in a half a short sale, that, of course, National Association of Realtors was so aggressive in advocating, and our friend at National Association of Realtors helped create, and it was his concept. The simple fact, guys, is that short sales, they still are complicated. There's still a lot of procedural stuff. Even as, we've gone through the evolution of making the process simpler, it's still hitting snags. And I know that a lot of you have been struggling with added paperwork and bureaucracy, again, just over the past 45 to 60 days. I have no idea why the banks have sort of reversed their cooperative nature in the past 45 to 60 days. Chris Darney, our short sale coach, has a great theory that we might discuss later on the call. But here's the bottom line, guys. This new HPO short sale program through Bank of America, you work directly with your short sale advocate. You get their email address and their phone number. There is here's the big one, write this down, no paperwork required from the seller. So, Michelle, just say yes or no when I say the normal things, okay?
Okay.
Just so we can disseminate this information quickly. Pay stubs, yes or no?
No.
Tax returns, yes or no?
No.
Bank statements, yes or no?
No, sir.
Let's see. What else? I mean, all the other paperwork that they seem to pull out of the thin air that they want just to find out if the homeowner has any assets, yes or no?
Nope, nothing. No hardship letter, no nothing.
Can it be this is a dirty word in the real estate industry, of course, but can it be a strategic short sale, where it's obviously a strategic short sale?
Could be.
Well, exactly, because they're not verifying assets. They're not checking anything. So they don't care if it's strategic or not, correct?
Correct.
Okay, do you know if this can be on all real estate or just primaries? Do we know yet?
I don't know yet. I mean, literally 20 minutes before we went on the call is when I fired all the paperwork over to you. So I don't know the details yet. Okay,
so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the paperwork, all the specifics, which essentially is an acceptance letter that's laying out all the HPO short sale details. I'm going to be taking that letter, obviously covering up her seller's personal information, and then we're going to be posting it in a video. And Chris has promised to have this video done in the next hour or so, and then I'm going to be putting it on the blog, and I'm also going to be sharing it with everybody else, all the other realtors who care to listen, who care to know about what's happening now with short sales. Guys, this is breaking information. This is a total evolution in the process. Our theory is that these are, again, Fannie Mae short sales, and this is a new Fannie Mae process, and what in essence is going to happen is Fannie Mae is saying, listen, you guys, as in the servicers, kind of had your time at trying to get the short sales closed faster, not doing it good enough, not doing it fast enough, and Bank of America is taking the leadership role and saying, listen, let's do this program. Let's just cut out all the Mickey Mouse, and let's just get these short sales closed. All right, so more details on the HPO Bank of America short sale program. Ms. McClintock, please.
Okay, so no pre-qualification, so that's hand in hand that there's no, documentation and stuff. They are well, I guess I better stop. Let's go step by step. All I have to submit to our personal advocate is the documentation signed by the seller, the letter, which Tim has and will post, he said. The listing agreement for the property. This property was previously listed. We had to relist the property effective today. So
okay, now let's stop there. That sounds confusing, okay? Let's give them the details. The property was originally listed for $169. The contract price was $164.5 or something, correct?
Originally, a year ago, it was listed for $225, I think.
Okay.
It is now going to be listed for $165.
Okay, $165. But that's also the contract price, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there's something weird that Michelle and I haven't been able to figure out. Just full disclosure here, this is breaking news, and we haven't had a chance to pick through this yet. But one of the things that this HPO program required was that Michelle has a new listing contract signed with the listing price being the same price as the short sale contract. Okay, now that's something new. We can all, I guess why they're doing that. Doesn't matter. Just giving you the facts as we have them. Please proceed.
Okay, and then actually I'm going to send in a new authorization just so it's fresh and we proceed right along. So, and then the next step is I will send the package directly to our personal advocate. I have his personal e-fax, or scan it and email it to him. And then today, he's ordering the appraisal on the property. The only requirement for this particular short sale is the appraisal.
Okay, so in the file, okay, all the normal stuff that was required, basically, are they even asking you to send it?
The income tax returns and all that stuff?
Yep.
Nope, nothing.
So it doesn't even have to be in the file. So the only things you as a short sale listing agent, guys, I know you're asking questions. I'll get to them in a second, but I'm going to have news for you. We're not going to have very many answers because I don't know the answers because this is so new. But go ahead and put your questions into the webinar and we'll see what we can do. All right, so the only thing, as far as you know, according to the paperwork, according to what you've heard directly from the Office of the President of Bank of America, the only things that you had to send in, just so we're clear, were?
Listing agreement. I gave them my authorization, which he did not ask for, but just so he has it on file. And the letter, I guess it is, or the agreement. Is that what we'd call that, Tim?
Yeah, the sign-off where the seller signs off on wanting to participate in the HPO short sale program through Bank of America, which you sent me a copy of today, which I'll also post on the net so folks can read it. It was basically very simple, very laid out. There wasn't all this crafty BS language. Makes my skin crawl. The lenders are trying to sneak back in about deficiency judgments. That was out. And we're going to talk about the fact, guys, that this new program has no deficiency judgments, has no seller requirement for any sort of money at closing, and pays them $3,000 at closing. Again, guys, I'm going to get to those details in a second. So the only thing you had to send in, because, I know there's tons of questions about this, and you didn't send it in through Equator, you worked directly with your advocate, was the listing contract with basically a fresh listing contract with the actual price of the contract and listing price on the listing contract for the same thing. You had to send in your seller's signature on accepting the HPO short sale program terms, which is very simple and easy to understand. It was only really a page and 3/4. And you, just to be safe, sent in your authorization where they can speak to you as a representative of the seller. You just sent all three of those, the third thing in just to cover your bases.
Yeah, actually,
no other paperwork was required, correct?
No. The only other thing that will go in, actually, or did go in, it's already gone, is the actual, in our particular case, we already have a contract. The contract in the HUD-1 is gone. So, but that necessarily wouldn't be the case if somebody did not have a contract on the property already.
Okay, so now let's give them some more interesting information. You learned that, yes, they're going to do an appraisal, but it's just for the sake of stuffing the file, not that it's going to have any relevance necessarily on the actual acceptance of the short sale. What the heck does that mean? You don't know either, right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's fine. So, I mean, this is breaking news. We don't have to have all the answers. But the appraisal was necessary, just from what you and I surmised yesterday. The appraisal was necessary for the file, but they aren't going to necessarily take into consideration. This is important to realtors out there because, as you guys know, you are setting the market with your contracts. You guys are often having, sometimes the BPO appraisal issue is muddying up your short sale sales because in many markets across the country, values, again, are dropping. A double dip is happening now, as we've been predicting for well over a year it would. So what's happening is that the comps that maybe a BPO agent or an appraiser would use are irrelevant because since those comps had closed, assuming they're using closed comps, the prices have dropped another 5 or 10% or whatever. So the Bank of America recognizes that. They are ordering an appraisal. It is going in the file, but they're, for the most part, going off the contract in terms of the actual value, correct?
Right, definitely. This is definitely fair market value. It's not like we're trying to undermine or underhand Bank of America. This is where and we went back in last night and recomped the property. It is absolutely at fair market value. So on Equator where you're getting countered $10 or $15 or $20,000 higher when you're getting counters, this property absolutely is at fair market value.
Okay, right. So we're making it clear that we don't want any monkey business played. And any of you guys need, well, I'll just throw this out there. Do not be trying to game any of these systems. Do not trying to be doing anything that's going to in any way be anywhere remotely resembling impropriety. Chris Darney, are you on the call?
I am, Tim. I am. I'm blown away. I was reading through the letter and that, and I remember, Tim, and this goes back a little ways, but I think you and I were actually talking about Bank of America rolling out what we call, or what they called, their cooperative short sale program. And I think you and I kind of snickered, and we said, gosh, aren't we always trying to cooperate with them?
Right.
So this has kind of come to fruition, which
I think the cooperative part in their own admonition was on from their perspective, not from the agents or the sellers, right? They're fine. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, Chris. I mean, you and your wife coach the short sale program, right? And so you're hearing these details. I'm sure you're having the same thoughts as we are with. Well, there goes about 1,000 usual problems realtors have with getting a short sale closed, right?
I'll tell you what, this is absolutely exciting. I mean, this is beyond exciting. I'm looking at the letter just thinking, well, my goodness. I mean, I don't see any roadblocks. I don't see the typical
gotcha language.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing. I'm kind of slapping myself in the face here. So this is great. This is wonderful news.
Now, well, needless to say, our seller was very excited on the call, but needless to say, she also was quite comical because she kept having her little digs. Well, you know, you've already got all my information in your system. You know, we've had 6 contracts. We started at $225. You could have had $60,000 more, and she was very animated and comical on the call. So she was getting firsthand at this guy, you know, the fact that if you had cooperated a year ago, you'd have $60,000 more than what you actually have now, and now you're cooperating with me. I love the name of the program, Cooperative Short Sale. She was very good, a perfect candidate for them to sort of launch the program. So
let's get into more details here. Now, on the second part of this letter, guys, and if you're watching the video, you can see the letter in the video. So the second part of this, and guys, the video is going to be made after this call, so for those of you who are typing in questions to the webinar asking where the video is, we're going to do that post-production of this call today. So it also said, again, no deficiency judgments, right? No seller contribution of any sort. So you guys know what I'm talking about when these banks ask for, money at closing, or for a while we had the seconds that were trying to be crafty and get money on the side, not off the HUD, all of that. But this actual cooperative short sale program, the HPO Bank of America short sale program, specifically says no deficiency judgment, no seller contribution of any kind, and unbelievable enough, $3,000 at closing for the seller. So the seller is getting paid to cooperate, correct?
Wow.